as I was saying, the bad weather affects my back. And this is how hard it's been raining in my area. This is the driveway outside my house going to the left. When it rains hard, it floods. And as you can see, the road is flooded. And I have to go the other way around. But I live on top of a great big hill. And the bottom of that hill, it floods really easily. And the reason why it floods is because going around all the way to the right, it runs into another creek, and the ditches are full. I talked to the roads commission people, and they told me there's nothing that they could do about it, that the Army Corps of Engineers would have to fix it. But the weather affects my back, and that's why I get, like I said, from the Clint Eastwood movie, the musical Western with Clint Eastwood, this guy in it got melancholy. Now this is on the other side of that area, and this ditch is full. Down there, about 500 feet, you can see that the water is filling up, and the water will flood out that road, so I can't go that way, and this ditch needs cleaned out. And I was told that the Army Corps of Engineers would have to clean it out, but this ditch needs cleaned out. This ditch on the other side here needs cleaned out. It's full of crap. And this is the bridge right down this road from my house. And as you can see, water is flowing. When the road down there is flooded, and when the road down there is flooded, and the road down the street from my house is flooded, the water is still flowing underneath this bridge. It never floods on top of this bridge. So that means, that tells me that the water is flowing properly. The bridge is doing its job, the water is flowing, but the reason why these roads flood is because these ditches need cleaned out to allow the water to flow freely underneath this bridge. So that is why when it rains hard in my area, there's only one exit out of my house, and that is to the right. There's that bridge I was just on. This area right here, as it rains harder, will flood to where you cannot drive across this part of the road. All this stuff needs cleaned out. The culvert is doing its job, but there's only one culvert here where there should be 2 or 3 for them to allow the water to flow freely. But like I said, the biggest issue is the ditches need trenched out, cleaned out, and more culverts installed. It used to be worse. To the left, outside my driveway, a year before I moved into my house, my old neighbor told me that the county installed a culvert, but before they were able to cover it up, a farmer drove over that culvert and smashed it in. And I took a video of it and took it down to the county office and showed them the video of the water barely coming out of these pipes. And shortly after that, they replaced the culvert and they added another one. But my area is continue to be flooded until the Army Corps of Engineers comes out and cleans out these ditches. Just up that hill is my house. This area right here used to flood to where you couldn't, you could go over the road, but you were still driving over water. But then they came down and replaced the culverts here that were smashed. But you can see that the water is flowing freely on both of these culverts. But still, these ditches need to be cleaned out. The Army Corps of Engineers need to get on it. This is the way I have to go leaving my house. This area here used to flood, but I think in this area, it's not what you know, it's who you know. There used to be a guy that lived on this road. He complained enough, and he knew the right people, that culverts were changed, and so now this area doesn't flood. But my old neighbor, his wife, back in 2008, when we had a major flood, his wife couldn't even drive down this road because her car would drown out. But these culverts were replaced, and now this area gets water on the road, but it's nothing like it used to be. I've been trying since last week to have them find out what it costs to come out to grade my driveway. I've called twice so far, and they have not called me back. So that is just the type of area that I live in. Not to complain, but just to let you know. And by the way, that farmer is limited to what kind of crop he can grow, or they can grow, in those two fields along that road because of the issues with the flood damage. The government pays farmers when they have damaged crops. To me, this is all a waste of money. Why can't they come out and clean out these ditches? But on a positive note, during the spring and summertime, when that area floods, right before that bridge is the best place at night to pick up night crawlers, because their homes get flooded. They come out. I have picked up over 200 or 300 night crawlers or more at night every day when I go out there when that water is flooded.